Okay. Good afternoon, folks. Sorry about that. I'm just having some problems with my equipment there. Ninja Trader just completely froze. Okay, so hope everyone is well. So, I was just looking at this. Well, I was just looking overnight. This moved down with 2 legs up, and this moving this morning. I took an evaluation here this morning, just down to the lows, kind of a penguin setup. We kind of pushed down, we pulled up, and I jumped in here. So I can take some payments today, hopefully. Let me have a look. I'm just trading one of my accounts. I could do with $100 on here, and the others, let me have a look. I've got to trade micros. So bear with me just a second. I should be able to withdraw 5,000, I think. So let's say hello anyway. So Karina, good morning to you. Jan, how you doing? I own this exponential. Brant, Jay, Chad. Okay, sorted. I think I've said hello to everybody. Okay. So yesterday was on the stream was terrible, but I ended up taking 3 short trades. I walked away, went made myself a cup of tea, came back later, and took 3 trades. I couldn't believe it. Where were they? We had this we had this choppy stuff. That was one of them. Sure, there was another one. Where was it? That is yesterday, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Or is it? No, it wasn't. Tell a lie. Here. So I got caught here, taking the higher low. We'd had kind of 2 legs down. I think what it was is we'd bounced off the bottom and made 2 attempts. I watched back on the stream. I actually mentioned that. But I was just riding this back to the EMA, and it was a couple of ticks off and it shot down. So I took that short there. In fact, I think I took a screenshot of it somewhere. I can't remember. I took that short there for 3 points. I took that. It actually looked better than that for 9 points. And I took something else. Where was it? Might have been that one. 2 legs up and a lower high. Yeah, I think it was. So I took 2 for 3 points and 1 for something like 9 points. No, I wrote that one I got for 9 points. It looked like a nice correction. It looked better on my on the chart earlier. And I ended up being about 430 or 450 up, something like that. I was looking at all my payment history in Apex last night. I was surprised how much I'd actually been paid over the 3 years. Yeah, it is surprising. It does mount up. Darius, how you doing, bud? I didn't see you there, mate, my friend. So I was just looking at maybe doing a bit of swing trading here or there just for a bit of fun. But we had that leg down and we had 2 legs up. And what I liked about this is we had a leg up with a big break and another leg up, then a strong move down. And that continued into the early hours or late last night. We had a push back and came up, and I took a short about here. Nah, it was only on an evaluation, but it worked. I put my stop in, rode it down to the bottom. It's very much a typical penguin style, that 2 legs up and just out kind of at the lows. In fact, it might have been a bit higher than that. I think we had that bearish bar, and I think I got in about here. I just wanted to be out around the lows. We clearly did that. So that is a typical penguin style trade, that leg down, 2 legs up. We just didn't get a full leg down. And not only did that interest me, we hadn't filled that gap. So I thought there was a good chance we'd get into that gap. Now we took some of it, but not enough. So I need about $100 on one of my accounts. And I'm going to do some micros. So what I'm going to quickly do is just, I want to do the micros now just to count as the day. Otherwise I'll end up missing the day, 6:30, and won't be able to withdraw tomorrow. So I'm just going to switch on to micros. I've got this one account here. That's 55. Yeah, it's about $75 off there. So leg and a leg. Let's have a look. So I'm literally just going to switch on to micros and just do one at a time so I don't mess up. Let's do a custom one. So one profit, two stop. I don't think it really matters too much. So one contract, one profit, two. Doesn't really matter whether I win or lose these. So first one is 34. Let me just do that one. So bear me a second. 34.
Order filled. Target filled.
Go. 1. 34 is sorted. 56. 56.
Order filled. Stop filled.
That one lost $3. Doesn't matter. Which one's this? 55. 32 I need.
Order stop filled.
That one's done. 55. Is this 55? I'm going to do 55 just in case I don't take a trade. I don't have to think about it.
Order filled. Stop filled.
Okay, it doesn't really matter whether you win or lose. It's a couple of $3 either way. So all I wanted to do is that's 8 days now. See, 5 of them are profitable. 3 of them aren't. Sorry, 5 are profitable, 2 aren't. So I just needed that to count. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 55. So I've got 55, so I could do with $100 on here, really. So let's switch that back. But yeah, it's funny all day yesterday. That first part, I was taken as a range. We kind of had. I think really what I should have been thinking of is it's one of those things you got to take such quick decisions. Clearly ranging at the moment. I think the red flag is we came down at the bottom and had 2 pushes up. I got the higher low. Now Bart took that one, but he jumped in down here and managed to take his points. But to me, I was looking for something to pick off this liquidity, and it picked it all off. So when we had the higher low, all I was planning on doing is riding it back to the EMA for 3 points. So there was me 3 points, and yeah, it was a few ticks away. I think I've gotten a bit earlier than that. Because if I remember rightly, it went up to $125, so I was literally a couple of ticks away. So that's where I was. So yeah, I was in on the nail. So it was a bit frustrating, and then literally within a second, it dropped like a stone. It didn't even trigger anything up here. So whether it was news-based, I don't know. Maybe it was just because there was longs in here and people shorted it. I don't know. I was surprised that Mark trades in that barcode area 20 minutes. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's odd, really, isn't it? The thing is, it's easy to took something. He took, well, the bar wasn't good anyway, but that one I get. But it is a bit congested. But that one was the not so sure one for me. But yeah, he took something here. I don't know. I've just found there was a news. Yeah, I mean, I've just found it difficult lately. I've had, it's just not been a brilliant month. I'm lucky to get $5,000 this month. I really am. So I did pick up. So what have I got here at the moment? So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've just got 8 accounts at the moment. That's all I've got. But 6 of them are for payment. So it is what it is, isn't it? It's not been great, to be fair. It's been a really hard month. ATR's been high. It's been chopping around. And I've just found it hard. Whether everybody, I had a chat with a few people last night. I put a post on, and I think everyone's found it a little bit tricky. But sometimes it doesn't seem to matter what you do. Market seems to sort of, get you. I don't know. It's kind of the way it is, I suppose, isn't it? So let's just have a look at this. So not sure about that. Let's have a look. Darius, it's been tricky. Can't blame yourself. Yeah, I think probably that one, it's like anything now. It's rare I take a trade now that I can't look back and figure out what went wrong. And we did bounce at the bottom, but we only got up around about halfway. So that to me should have been a factor. So what we theoretically had was something like that. 2 attempts to push higher. Do you know, I watched myself back on the stream around that trade just to see what I was saying, and I actually said we've only managed to get up halfway, so that's you've got to be careful. And the frustrating thing is, I only wanted to get back to the EMA, which I thought it would do, but it's one of those things. Chad, check my comments earlier. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Everyone has their opinion. I'm a Trump fan at least. Complete his sentence. Let's have a look. Have you did that? Have you did that before, where you trade the micro for the day, and it's no problem with Apex payout? I've quite often, if I've hit 5 days and I've not, well, if I've been going for the 8 days. And I just need to make the day count, I'll switch on to one micro and go a tick. And it doesn't matter, you can flip those. So people trade micros all the time and swap backwards and forwards for one reason or another. So I don't think there's an issue, bud. I don't think there's an issue. I think that's the one you said. I did that before. You traded the micro for a day and it's no problem. No, it's no issues with Apex, mate. No issues at all, buddy. I was quite curious if Apex was okay counting for a day. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, to be honest with you, we were having ATRs of 10, 12 and 14. You got no choice, really. It's just too dangerous not to do micros. Where's the ATR now? 4.7. It's a much more respectable level. So now there is a level here, isn't there? So bounce, bounce, bounce. It's hard to say what we're going to do now. So I'm just going to draw that because the last 1, 2, let's call this 3, 4 times we've been up here, it's rejected it quite strongly. Higher ATR, lower your bet. Makes sense, but the trouble is you can't go below one contract on the mini, so you have to go onto micros. Do you know, I was watching a few videos last night. Every time something happens, I try and kind of educate myself. And it's weird. We've heard something many times. If you're finding it's too stressful or you're worried when you're in a trade, you're trading too much. Now, that is actually probably the most common sense thing you could say. So if you're risking $200 on a trade, there's going to be a little bit of nerves. If you're risking $20, there isn't. It just goes without saying. So I'm not sure whether to go down to micros and trade micros maybe semi-permanently. But maybe do something like, I don't know, 5 micros or and maybe a runner or something. I don't know. I'm going to have a think about it. Let me know your opinions. What do you guys do? Do any of you guys trade micros? The good thing about micros is you can hold on a little longer. What I find is the bigger the risk, the second the thing moves in your direction, you want to get out of it. Well, I certainly do. So micros is the way at the moment. Yeah, it's certainly the way at the moment. I don't know whether to bother just, maybe doing them just for a while. If you take that risk away, sometimes I get out of a trade earlier. Sometimes I have that urge. I like this. I think I want to hold. But because of the amount I'm risking that's on the line, yesterday, $300, I just haven't got the nerve or confidence to do it. That tells me I'm risking too much. So I don't know. I'm going to have a think over the weekend. Yes, has left the station without me today. Yeah, it's the same story. Trouble is, you never know what's going to happen. Looking at all this stuff here, I thought for certain this thing was going to take a dump. We kind of had a channel with a break. We had 2 pushes up. You know, we had liquidity down. I thought for certain this thing was going to absolutely drop. I didn't think about maybe a channel here, but I suppose when it goes sideways, and it's one of those things, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know whether to maybe go. The thing about micros is if you start with, say, 5 micros or 3 micros and you hold, you can add to them. You know, now the trouble is when it's ranging like this, a lot of the time it's constantly overlapping something, so you can't get on a big move. But, you know, I don't know. I just want to try trading and lowering that stress and just see how I react. Now, I was chatting with someone last night, and I said the trouble is if I'm earning less profit every day, it's going to take a lot longer to grow my accounts and to get to a payment. He said, yeah, but if you're taking riskier trades, you've got to not only think about, yes, you're going to earn slightly less money per trade, but you've got to take into consideration all the money you're losing when you lose a trade. If I'm like yesterday, $300. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just thinking maybe go down to micros for a bit and kind of see how we get on. Just reduce the risk. Go down to maybe 3 micros. I mean, what is it at the moment? 4.5. So the average risk on one contract is $225. If I go down to 5, that's $125. You know, if you go down to 3 or 4 and maybe have a runner, my 2 pence worth is, if you're in a trade and you start stressing watching the P&L, then you're trading too big. Do you know, the weird thing is, Sam, that's one of the things I've heard more than anything, but because of lack of patience and get rich quick thing, it just kind of goes in one ear and out the other. So I think finally now I'm starting to look at the option that, okay, if I'm stressed when I'm trading, you know, if you're too stressed and you're itching to, you know, trading too much, that can go against you as well. You end up taking worse trades. And if I'm taking $200, $300, $400 losses, if I reduce my risk, they'll slow down. So, you know, I might from Monday go to 5 micros or even 4 micros and maybe a runner. I don't know. But I think going down from 1 contract to half. So at the moment, that would make my risk, if I went down to 5 contracts, around about $125. Now, that I can deal with. You know, that gives you 20 losses. 125. That will give you technically around about 20 losses before you blew $2.5 worth of drawdown. You know what I mean? So that is better, I think. But what I also might do is trade. The trouble is we do get very few setups, so you know you might be thinking, well, it could take you forever. But you know these trades that I see sometimes, these wide. We had one there, push up, little bearish bar. You know, if I end up maybe buying it there, I talk about these all the time. These types of trade like that, we're going up, we get a bearish bar. What happens? Turns over and moves. So I may try and find one of those in a day as well. If I'm only risking maybe $100 maximum, same again, we're coming down there. We have a little bullish bar, closed close to his eyes, crossed over, came straight. It's like a small pullback, isn't it? I forget what Al Brooks calls it. A few people mention Al Brooks has got a setup like that. It's these types of trades, slightly wider. We got a bearish bar there. What happens? Comes down, triggers, pushes straight up. So they are there, not a huge amount of them, but when you spot one, you know what I mean? So if I am trading a bit less, you know, sometimes I get nervous about getting into a trade and I think that tends to hold me back. So I'm just going to try for once doing what I've heard 1,000 professional traders or trading gurus or books that I've read say to do. I'm going to try and do that and just lower my risk right down and just try it for a week and see how I get on. You know, I mean, if you can make, I don't know, even $150 a week out of a market per account, it's not a lot. That's still $500 a month. You've got 20 accounts. And then, you know, as your accounts grow, then you can increase your size. So you have to think in probabilities. So in a year, you will trade hundreds of trades. Yeah, blow up. That's the key, isn't it? It's okay saying, no, I want to go for one contract and go for a bit more. But if it's causing you to go on tilt and blow dozens and dozens of accounts, you've got to take those into consideration. I've had some months where I've spent $2,000 on evaluations and blown accounts. Straight away, if you cut back the amount of money, let's say for argument's sake, I spend $1,500 at least. Let's say I average $2,000 per month. Something like that for argument's sake on evaluations and what's it's. So straight away, you can cut back a chunk of that. So, you know what I mean? So, and maybe in some circumstances, when we got these trends and you get these moves, you can hold on a bit. But if I'm going for five micros, you know, if you get double points, you got the same equivalent of you know, taking one trade. So I'm going to do that from Monday, swap over. In fact, you know what? I might do it now. I'll leave that one the same, but I'll switch that one on to break at end of day so you guys can still see it. So let's select that. So that way that should look the same because, you know, we've got a saying over in the UK, I feel like I'm flogging a dead horse. I don't know whether that's all over the place, but you know, I'm losing a lot of trades lately. Yeah, yesterday I just happened to get 3 nice trades, but that was pretty unusual. I couldn't believe my luck when I took 2. I'm a big fan of yours. Your content would be much more valuable if you were to read comments you are responding to aloud. Sorry, mate, what have I missed? Be so much more valuable if you were to read the comments you are responding to. Oh, sorry, I got you. Yeah, I got you. So I tend to mumble a bit when you have to think in probabilities. Yeah, I read that one. In a year, you will trade hundreds of trades. If you trade big on all, you will not last your blow up accounts. Not only your blow up accounts, I think too much. It's weird, isn't it? It's the one thing that I've never really done. Yes, I went down from 2 to 1. But the only reason I started doing that really is because obviously the ATR since Trump took office move really. So I think it's a better option. So that is the normal 2000 tick chart. So you can see that. And I'm going to switch over to micros. I'm just going to trade 5 micros today on this one account. The others I've done a micro on just to get to a payment. So I should get $5,000 this month, which is considering, but I bet you I've spent close to $1,500 on evaluations and PAs. I bet I have. So let me just make sure everything as it is. In fact, let me just switch it on to a sim first. Nothing else is on, is it?
Order submitted.
Okay, bear me a second. It is just a sim, isn't it? Yeah, so if I jumped in, say
Order
there,
filled.
that bar there, let's say there, that's with 1, isn't it? So you go for about $15
Order
there. So let's
filled.
raise that to 5, and let's say,
Order submitted.
let's say I got in 1 tick above that bar. It's going to come back now. All right. I just want to calculate my average risk based on there. I'll tell
Order
you what.
cancelled.
Let's sell below this.
Order submitted.
So that's a fair size bar at the moment. So let's put it there. Find out what my risk is.
Order
That's a
filled.
reasonable size bar. Okay, so you're looking $150 there and $75 risk. I could probably tighten that. Yeah, $150 risk, $75 profit. I'd like that risk a touch more. So I'm going for 3 points. Maybe go for 3.5
Target
points.
filled.
So let's take it down to 4 contracts and go for 3.5 points. That ATR is still quite high. So let's add 2 ticks to it. Per point, per tick, isn't it? $1.25 per tick it is, $5 per point. So the average bar at the moment, let's say it's 4 points, isn't it? So 816, so it's about 16.5. So if
Order
I buy
submitted.
into that at say 16 ticks, which is about there,
Order
that's
filled.
the average bar size, and that would be my risk, $85. With say a lot go for 1-to-1, so I might start going just for 1-to-1, which would give us kind of $85. I can handle a risk like that. If you're risking $85, $1,700, you're risking an average of about 3% there, aren't you? Let me have a look. So let's say 2,500, 10% is 250, 1% is 25. So I'm risking about just over 3.25% there. Now if I manage to hold, which I'm going to try and do in some instances, that's not too much. It's not going to affect your drawdown. 8 ticks of $10 on the MES. Yes, that's per contract. I'm trading 4 contracts at the moment. Now there is a little bit more on the that's going to get taken out there later. There is a little bit more with fees. How much are expenses on here? Do you know? Anybody
Stop
know?
filled.
So 4 contracts, I think. So I might go with the ATR. So the ATRs now is 4, so I do 4. Mind you, if that gets higher, I want to be coming down, don't I? So let's have a look at this one. In fact, that's actually, that's a 17 tick bar.
Order
so
submitted.
let's put that a tick above there. So if I'm risking under $100, that shouldn't be too bad, and I'll stick to my 2 losses. Let's just see if that triggers.
Order filled.
Okay, so stop will go there, which is $95. And I could do the same there, $95. So that would be 3.25, 4.25, 5.25, 6.25, 7.25. Maybe just do $80 or something like that. With Apex is $1 per. Is it $1 per mini? So that's $4, isn't it? That's not too bad. That's $4. That's what I'm paying per trade round trip on the other one. And if I'm making a little bit less, it's not too bad there. So channel down with a break, new low. So that's not too bad. I could kind of live with that. I could probably go. Brant, are you here, Brant? Don't you go for 1-to-1, or do you go for a bit more now? And there's no stress about holding this because my maximum risk is $95. You know what I mean? So that's not too bad. I mean, you could put that there if you want. I tend to like to get out. So let's call that 1-to-1, see what happens. But so 4 contracts about right, I think. I saw Sam 5 traders doing micros now. He says it's more relaxing. Daryl, doesn't it make more sense if you're so stressed when you're trading? You're risking too much, aren't you? And with that extra stress, you're more likely to make mistakes, and mistakes cost money. I get in randomly sometimes, silly trades. And not only that, if you lose a trade like yesterday and you're down $300, chances are if you take another trade, that discipline's going to fail. So I think in the long run, I don't think you'd be worse off financially. You may even be slightly better off. But what you'll do is dramatically reduce that risk of blowing accounts. So you've got to take into consideration what they cost you again and again. You know what I mean? Yeah, either it causes you not to take a good trade. I do avoid good trades because you're nervous. Yeah. Quite a few times I see trades and think, why didn't I take them? But yeah, it's nerves. So that makes more sense, doesn't it? You know, seeing this come back now, I'd be panicking and getting out for break even. How many times do I get out for break even? But I've still got the full risk. So I know my maximum risk is $95 there, and that isn't going to affect drawdown either $100, especially if your accounts. I mean, the drawdown stopped on 6 of mine anyway, so. But I think that is the type of amount of money you can set and forget, just let it go. I don't know how many trades I've come out early that would have taken full profit, but I got nervous. I don't know how many trades I missed because I got nervous. So, you know, it makes perfect sense, doesn't it? So let's have a look. So leg and a leg, I think it may come down below there. It may hold. We'll say so, chat. I mean, this is only a sim anyway, just to sort of let it go. Slow and steady is the motto. I think you're right, mate. Isn't it weird? Sometimes these things are staring you right in the face, but you can't see past the end of your own nose. And we're clearly losing momentum anyway. So for me, I wouldn't take a trade like that because I'd expect a leg, and it's quite likely going to take that out. Possibly that. That's the lowest one there, so that it may hold that. So a leg and a leg, but. I don't know how many trades I get out early. I'd probably say 60%, 40% of my trades I get out early, maybe 30%. I take impulsive trades as well. So 2 legs back. Usually that lowest one is pretty safe. It takes anything else out. So for sure now, I'd have got out of that trade. I was watching someone that if we want to do this 20 years, there shouldn't be any rush. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm making money now and I'm having my fair share of losses. Yesterday I was lucky. Well, I say lucky. There just happened to be 3 really nice trades. I couldn't believe me luck, to be honest with you. But bearing in mind, it wasn't that long ago. I was trading 2 contracts. How do you set an inch trader? Show profit target next to entry position. That there. You on about that, are you, bud? Or you on about this? You on about the end? Or next to the bar? So look at that now. 2 legs back. Green at the end of the bar. This here. This is an add-on. I'll show you now, bud. So this is going to work now. Build. So look at that. So 2 legs back. It came back. I didn't panic. Now, bearing in mind I'm only on a sim, but there's profit there. See, so that was what, $95? So I think it's worth doing it. Let me have a look. I'll show you. You'll be glad to know it's free. It's called Order Line Decorator. I can't remember where I got it, but just Google it. And yeah, what it does is it shows you, I've got mine set to currency. It shows you. So it's quick to see, you know, the old way of doing it is you'd have to work out how many points or so-and-so. So yeah, just Google Order Line Decorator and it's free. That's it there, but it makes life so much easier. Right, so which is the one I need to trade? 32, isn't it, I think? $32, yeah. So let me just check. I'm nearly at the buy button then. Let me just open
Order
an order.
submitted.
So 4 contracts on micros. So yeah, 2 legs back. That was obviously the slightly better trade. Not a brilliant signal bar, but if you look on the 2000 tick chart, that was much better. Now that's a trade you can take, that is. You could argue there's a triple test there. And I bet if I looked on the Discord, there'll be traders taking that. So let me
Order
just...
cancelled.
What account is that? 32. So that should... Yeah, so let me just
Order
check.
submitted.
No, okay, so
Order
I need
cancelled.
to adjust this. Yeah, I thought some would take it. He took it. 2 legs back. I thought it was okay there because we're clearly bouncing it here. Not a fantastic signal bar, but the 2000 there was much better. So I thought someone would take it. But there, the thing is, I mean, you could wait for that to break above there and potentially ride it for a little more. I mean, once you get your stop up here to break even, why isn't that working? Once you get your stop up here to break working. Oh, this oh, okay. Bear me a second. I've got it at custom, haven't I? $25 and 14. New setup. $25. Ah. There we go, 25 and 14. Good setup, should work. I'm going to do that. So save as template. New setup. Override it. Okay. Edit strategy. New setup, so that should be okay now.
Order submitted.
Why is it still showing? Ah, okay.
Order
I've got it
cancelled.
set to 1. Let's try again.
Order submitted.
It's set to 1.
Order cancelled.
So let's save it again. New setup. Yes. Okay. New setup. That should work now. So hopefully it should buy 4.
Order submitted.
1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect.
Order
Close.
cancelled.
Okay. Okay. So have a quick look on Bookamap. Yeah, this thing's going high, I think. Holy hell. Oh, it's all right. I actually don't mind that because it's fitting nice on that midline. So I like that as a two-tiered channel. Yeah, a few people took that trade. Someone else did. And 2 legs back as well. It's quite strong. So Thomas Way took it as well. Yeah, a few people took it. Marco took it as well. It's just a shame I took it and someone else. So I think it was an okay trade, actually, to be honest with you. Not many on Dan's, I think. Just one. I don't think Dan took it. So, I mean, that is strong. So I'm guessing we're testing this area up here, I think. It was kind of a couple of legs up, 2 legs back. Not quite 2 full legs, but 2 legs back. And now we're moving up. So, I mean, if you'd have followed that up, see, I'd have never have done that trade in a contract. I'd have been too nervous. But if you followed that up, maybe kept a couple of bars between you, probably got stopped out there. There's 12, nearly 13 points there. $5 a point, isn't it? With one contract. It's about $70 times 4. It's about 280, nearly $300 potential if you hold, especially on these range days. The lower your risking, the easier it is to hold, less stress, I think. I think if it looks, the good thing about these as well, if it looks okay on the 2000 tick chart, then I can still take that here. So I wouldn't have a problem doing that, 2 legs back. I look at that. Yeah, looks like it. trailing that, are you? Yeah, I mean, look at that. If you can get in there. So see, a lot of the times when we get this, we don't get a move. Sorry, we don't get an entry, rather. Just keep it in mind, the 90% off finishes at midnight, I think. Midnight Eastern time tonight. So whether we revert back to the 80% off, I don't know, because it was 80% off. And I looked, it did say 80% till the end of the month, but because they've moved over to the 90, I'm not sure what they'll do. 13 hours. Yeah, that's midnight Eastern time. So it's the first 90% we've had off for a while, in all fairness. I was surprised when I saw it. Yeah, I suppose if you do get into a move, see, with micros, you could add one, couldn't you, if you wanted to? Actually, 5 points doesn't look that much, does it? You're trailing by 5 points, so where are you about here? Okay, so you're below that swing then, aren't you? So it's not too bad, actually. Trouble is, the tendency is to want to kind of get out, isn't it? But if you can hold on, I think you're definitely worth it, because, you know, when we came back here, if you're following tight, you got stopped out there. But if you gave that a little bit of room, you've just made 3 times that amount of move, and it's not finished yet. But we've got a big bullish bar here, so we're at this midline now, see, so yeah, I like that. It's actually touching nice there, and it fits right in that bottom tier. But we're right at the top of it now, so sometimes you think it's got to come down, and that's where I think inexperienced traders going short there, and it triggers them and continues on up. You just never know where how far these things are going to push. When you think it can't go any further, it's got to come down. It hasn't. See what I mean? So if you'd have jumped in short there, thinking this thing's got to come down, sometimes it just keeps on going, isn't it? I mean, that is a quick move, isn't it, really? I mean, it's taken 35 about an hour to do that. 76 points, 75 points in an hour. Mind you, a couple of weeks ago, we had 3 bars of 100 points, didn't we? So it's actually not that much. So before we get up here, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we had some kind of a correction. Wow, Marco's on a 30-point runner. Good on him. Let's have a look. Is he is the E-mini? Is it one contract? So he's up $1,500 just on that. Good lad. I like seeing that. Could have happened to a nicer bloke. So it is the E-minis, one contract. So wow, look at that. And he's keeping it nice and tight as well. You don't want to give any of that back, really, especially when we're getting to the top. Good on him. Yeah, you can, especially on days like this. So where's his stop? His stop is, oh, wow, he's got more. His stop is here, so he wouldn't get taken out. So I think his 30 points is here, so he's up another 5 points there. I wonder how much further it's going to go. I'm guessing he's tightening this now. Go on, keep going. So he's up $1,500. That's just on one account. I'm not sure how many accounts. I've got a feeling he's got quite a few accounts. I mean, that ATR's come down. This is really strong, isn't it? Trouble is, it's going to run out of steam soon. I'll be surprised if we don't get a pullback rather than just push up. I can't see that pushing up another 20, 23, 24 points straight into that, but you never know. I'll be surprised if we don't get a pullback. Trade prop accounts. Yeah, he does trade prop accounts. I'm not sure about his own account, but yeah, he does trade prop accounts. He sent me a photo of some certificates for prop accounts. So yeah, I mean it's a massive market if you can trade, isn't it? So I'm guessing he's doing well out of that. Yeah, I absolutely get that. It is a different ball game trading your own money. I did it once. Mind you, I stuck $100 in my account months ago and completely forgot about it, to be honest with you. So he had his stop there, I think. Let me have a look. He had his stop about here, I think. No, there was a couple of doges. So he may be in it for a bit more there. I think he had his stop around about here. So leg down. I'd expect another leg down. So I think he's definitely secured at least 30 points anyway. I bet Mac could have made money out of that as well. I think Mac could have taken that 100% on that 2000 tick chart. never came back and got his runner, I don't think. The trouble is when Matt goes for a point, half the time it comes back and gets his runner. So if he gets in here, there's his point. Got to push through depending on where he got in. So he'd have got a runner on that as well. So 2 legs back possibly here. Okay, so possible second entry long here. Yeah, it's hard to say, isn't it? What I will say is this. I mean, it's very strong, isn't it? That looks okay. So 2 legs back here to the EMA. I don't think it'd be a terrible place to go long. The trouble is, if we got the bigger channel as well, we trade the bottom of the channel. So if you were just trading this, you'd have to wait till the bottom. Whereas with a tight channel like that and 2 legs back, I can't see why that's an issue about taking that. I wouldn't have a problem with that, I don't think. Let's just zoom into this 2000 tick chart. That's definitely a leg and a leg back. So I'm just going to get a buy order ready just in case we get something decent. Now there's a tight channel there anyway with 2 legs back, so that I wouldn't mind. So a leg and a leg. Let's see what happens. Oh shit! Let's just get rid of that.
Order cancelled.
Just don't like this market at the moment. It's just got a tendency of just flipping out. It's been doing this all the time lately, isn't it? So there is a failure there. That's triggered by a tick. I'm just not interested here at the moment. It may work, but I just don't like that big quick drop. That's vulnerable to me, and prices are still below that EMA. So my guess is this is going to likely get the way, especially the way it's ticked by 1 tick. So we may come down to this area. Yeah, it's going to get stopped out for sure, as I said. Channel down, 1 attempt to push higher, 2nd attempt to push higher. Now is this going to push up? Price is below the EMA, so you'd have to say it's got more chance of stopping that and that out. This is kind of floating around at the middle, isn't it? I wouldn't want to take anything here. I certainly wouldn't want to take a short here. Not that I don't think it may come down. We've got a channel there with a break. I think it's likely going to break there. You'd have to say it's going to, wouldn't you? I just can't take a short here because how strong it is. You'd have to say that's going to get stopped out. I mean, it's easy liquidity, isn't it? We push up, we trigger above it, we trigger above that one, trigger above that one. There's bound to be longs there. It's a bit too congested to go long. And where are we? Are we coming down to here, leg and a leg? I'd say we'd have to, surely. So the one's gone. Is the other one going to hold? I don't think it will. Let's have a look at this. Leg down, sideways leg down. So Thomas Wade's got his quite different. He's nearly at the key entry point here. So let me have a look at this. So big push up. So Dan's got his from there to there. Okay, yeah. So Dan's. I think he had it like that, didn't he? I don't know. That looks okay, I think. Okay, so Trump tweeted again on China. I tell you what, he's a trader's bloody nightmare. Trouble is, if you trade a 15-minute chart, a 5-minute, it probably doesn't do much, but okay, so channel down, 2 attempts to push higher, long trap there, long trap there. This is our second leg down, I think. So if we can get something around about down here, as I said when that was pushing up, I'll be shocked if it got to those highs without at least having some kind of a correction. I just can't see it pushing up another 20 points. So this is kind of what I was hoping for. So maybe we get a, ideally, if we can get a full leg down and have a strong bounce here. So looking on there, that looks like a kind of a nice correction there. Just can't jump in here really because I don't know it's going to come down some more. I like to think it's going to work. I mean, it is 2 legs down. It may work. But there is, depending on how you got your channel, I've got mine like that. There is some vacant space down here which it could slip into. So a little channel with a break, 2 pushes to a new low. It's just kind of floating in the middle of here at the moment. But if you look at that channel, higher low might be a better option. Flash signal bar on the ES. It is 2 legs down and you have got a bullish bar, but trouble is, it depends how you got your channel. If you've got that channel 2 legs back, might not be terrible. But I've got this. Dan's got it from me, and I trust his judgment. So, is it going to come down? It's hard to say. The MES has a much better signal bar. Yeah, I've got the 2000 on here. Sorry, the mini on here. maybe a higher low. I just don't like it. I prefer a little pullback and a higher low. I don't like those. They concern me. That's 22 ticks. Yeah, I'll be a bit nervous about taking that. Okay, I'm just going to take... This looks like it's going to have a bit of a drop here. Is it a channel with a break? I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. I'll be a quick minute. Okay, 2 legs down, 2 legs up. So I'm definitely cautious. 2 legs down, 2 legs up. Okay. What are you doing? Keep still, you damn thing. Turn off tracking. There we go. That should sort it out. You're still tracking. Just from my brain, this may be another item of computer equipment that finds its way out the window. Oh, screw it, that'll do. Okay, let's have a look at this. So we got 2 legs down, and it did work that. So if you're looking at that channel, I don't think that's terrible. 2 legs down, riding it back to the EMA. The issue I have with taking that is it's off the bottom. Now, I'm pretty sure Dan's got that channel, and if you take it there, it triggers you and comes down and stops you out. And if I ask Mac, why did it fail? It'll go, because you took it too far from the... So it's just one of those things, isn't it? Fail second entry short. Yeah, if we can get a little bit further back to that EMA. So second entry short on the 2000 tick chart. Trouble is 2 legs down, 2 legs up. See what happens here. See if we can get a failure here. Let's just get an order down here just in case. Actually, I don't think it's that bad. This, it's just something about this. I prefer it a little bit further this way. My concern is this goes a little bit sideways here. It's 2 legs up and a pull back to the EMA, I think. I'd prefer a little bit of a drop below that EMA and then something. So if you look on the EMA there, there's a second entry short and a possible lower high there. Let's see if that lower high traps some shorts and turns into a second entry long. That might not look too bad. I wouldn't mind taking it on here if it looks okay on here, to be honest with you. I wouldn't have a problem with that. Trouble is, looking on here now, we've got 3 dojis in a line, nearly 4 dojis in a line, so you're going to have to sit tight a minute. I would prefer that failure there. I would prefer to see that failure stopped out on that 2000 tick chart. It's moved too far, and now it's all dojis. So a hidden second entry long, or maybe, you know, testing kind of this area. 2 legs up. I'd just rather it clear some liquidity there. But if this is a move up, there's always that possibility we could do this. You know what I mean? There's always that possible. We got 2 legs down, 2 legs up. So I'd be thinking about pausing going for longs just at the moment, because channel down, 2 attempts to push higher. It's just hard to say at the moment. It may work. Sometimes you're damned if you do. It doesn't make no damn bit of difference sometimes anyway. But we've got a channel up there now. However you got that channel, I think it's you know, it's kind of pushing up. So 2 legs down, 2 legs up. I'd be concerned now that we get a second leg down. So I call that the first leg. So I think you've got to be careful going along. There's nothing here at the moment anyway. So if I put that there like that, let's just get rid of these a minute. So we've got a channel down, 2 pushes higher. It's a bit stagnant now. So look at these dojis, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could almost call that a doji off a tick. For me, this has got to drop down and clear something. So we may get a leg and a leg. It's just hard to say. Yeah, see that failure there, you'd have to say that's going to get stopped out. It may hold, but my gut feeling is with all them dojis there, it's easy liquidity, that is. So it's got to, yeah, there you go. I'm going to say it's got to pick liquidity off. There'll be liquidity there as well on the 2000 tick chart and here. So if this does come down, so we've got 2 legs down, 2 legs up. Now there may be a second entry long off here, but my concern is with such a big channel up, we have more than a break and a new high. I'd like to see 2 legs. So I think you've got to be careful going long here. I mean, if it pushes down there, you know, look at this on the ES, 2 legs down, we've got liquidity here. If we get a second leg down, it'll clear all this, and then you may get buyers. You know, I bet if I looked on Bookmap, there'd be buyers around the 53, 55 area. But equally, we could have a small second entry long and it might go higher, but I think that's risky. So let's have a look. So what did I say? 55-ish, maybe a touch lower. So 50, well, actually just a little bit above 55. There's a bunch, oh no, 55. There's a bunch of buyers there. So it makes sense coming down. Price moves towards liquidity, we know. So that kind of a leg and a leg would make sense. No guarantees, but. So leg and a leg, buyers at 55 at the lows of here. So let's put something 55. 55 is broken all, is picked off all this liquidity. So if you're gonna buy this market going up, there's more orders down there. So price moves towards liquidity. So it kind of makes sense. Now I could be completely wrong. It doesn't mean it will. It doesn't mean it won't. But this is congested to me. You may say a small break out of here, but you've got to be cautious. Let me just get rid of these a minute and make them a bit wider. It's stacked up here, so I think this is a bit dangerous. Now we've pushed up and we have had a hidden... No, actually, it's a second entry long off here. It may work, but my concern is this drops like a stone. Usually with these bigger legs, I'm kind of more right than I'm wrong. So that would take us down to, yeah. My concern, this just goes drop. Dan took that trade. Oh, I'm surprised. Good on him. Trouble is, he's got the same channel. That's what concerns me. He's got the same channel as me. And then we push up. You don't know whether they're going to make 2 legs up and come down. But it's one of those things, isn't it? There's just not much room here. It was better on the ES. I just didn't have much room here. If I'd have gotten a tick above there, I mean, there's a 1.5 to the highs. So really, I can't take it on mine really. It's much better on this. It's much better here. So if you got in there, you've got 4 points to the highs, so it's a better option. Trouble is when you get such a big channel, a small break like that, big move up, small break, and then higher. A lot of times we just tank, but there you go. Yeah, better on here, not so much. I mean, I'm focused on here really. Wouldn't necessarily say it was not so much. It's definitely better on here. Trouble is when you got those doges, that rings a few alarm bells, doesn't it? My concern is this just drops. I don't know, perhaps the thing is trading, you go through lots of different journeys, and sometimes those part of that journey is being paranoid about getting stopped out on trades. So that might just be where I am. I just have a feeling this is going to drop. Yeah, I think you do go through phases of maybe being too cautious and maybe seeing everything with kind of negative eyes. Anybody been through that type of phase? Perhaps that's what I'm doing. Perhaps I'm talking myself out of trades. Trouble is, I've seen stuff like this before so many times. We push up, we make a break, we make a few feeble attempts to push up, and the thing just drops. I don't know, maybe I am a bit paranoid lately. That's probably why trading too much size is probably caused me. I did have a message from a guy, which I told you about, and he said, you look like you're trading in complete fear. How right was he? Keith, not Keith. Was it Keith? Yes, Keith. I've just got him down as Keith Bow. He did say you look like you're trading complete fear. I think, you know, it's been staring me in the face. I think I'm just risking too much, which is why there is fear. Sometimes, you know, you see these dollar signs, don't you? You're constantly seeing people, you know, earning this and people earning that, and you're trying to rush to get there. But the trouble is, it's okay saying, yeah, but I'd rather do a bit more because I can get there quicker. But if you're risking that much that it's causing you to constantly go on tilt, all you're going to do is spend a year or two blowing accounts. Whereas if you decided to take a lower dose earlier on, where would those accounts be? You know, you could, you know, I mean, if let's say 2,500 drawdown, you trade a micro, 5 micros. When you get to $5,000, you trade a contract. When you get to $10,000, you trade 2. You know, you don't have to rush there, or even if you've got some of your accounts where you use some of your accounts for some smaller payments just to give yourself a wage and you let the rest rise. Just trying to read it again. Get into it, not looking at anyone else. Yeah. To be fair, I don't often look what's going on. Usually I'll look if I'm not sure about a channel. I've got to say, though, looking at this, though, that really does look like 2 legs down. I'm not used to seeing that type of picture and down again, but, I mean, it worked. Perhaps I should not think too much and just take it. So that would have worked for, you'd have got 4.5 points, possibly a bit more if it goes up. So 2 legs back. There is a higher low there, but it's away from that EMA. You can't take that really. So it depends how you're looking at this. If you're looking at this more like that, depends how you're looking at this. If you've got that channel like that, all of a sudden it doesn't look so bad. The trouble is, in hindsight, you know, I had it slightly different. We weren't at the bottom. If I'd have taken that one and it'd trigger me and come back and stop me out, I'd have been kicking myself. I think it's just important to keep it in mind that this, you know, it takes a long time to learn this, to be really good at it. See, I mean, even trading half a dozen micros, there's a possible $300 there, which is double what I usually make. Sorry, bud. Have I just been rabbiting on a bit? I've probably done you a favour, actually. Trying to remember what I've said now. I think I might be being a bit paranoid. When you have a tough month, it's very easy to just, instead of just trading what you've seen in front of your eyes, we're price action traders, we're not swing traders. But, big move up like that, I would expect, more of a correction, but I know perhaps we don't get it. Perhaps 2 legs back and that was our correction. But if you look at this, is Mac going to mark that 100%? 2 pushes up, 2 legs back. It's clearly 2 legs back onto support, big strong move up. It makes sense it's going to work. But I think because I've had a sort of a sketchy, dodgy month, it's like anything, isn't it? Sometimes you're just always looking for the bad news. And I think that kind of might be why I bought some evals yesterday. I'm trading YM with those. Time chart, just for fun, just to see if I can make it work 1-to-1. Yeah, it's certainly worth looking at these other things, isn't it? We've probably only scratched the surface of trading. There's that many different things you can trade. I even considered looking at the one of those ones where the bars are almost the same. They kind of even everything out. There's a couple of different types of them. Sure, I downloaded some a long time ago. If there's 2 different types, isn't there? There's a different bar. Is it that I'm looking for? No. That one. No. There's a couple of different types. I thought maybe that might even things out. If you're a price action trader, that maybe the Heikanashi, that's one of them. And there's another one as well. Someone will mention it, where they're more, I think Kellyanne trades it. It kind of evens things out, makes things seem to look a bit smoother now. I'm not naive enough to think there's no magic bullet. There isn't. But, Heikanashi, Renko, that was the other one I was thinking of. I've got a trader buddy, Marlon, who, in fact, I must message him. I haven't spoken to him for months. Sometimes it tends to even things out, and you think, well, maybe, there are certain strategies or certain way of thinking that may help. But, I'm past the stage where I think there's some kind of magic bullet. But I got to say, Renko, it looks like it's going to be easy, doesn't it? The thing just takes off in a direction. You think if you go along and take a point, how can it go wrong? But, one thing I've learned since I've traded, nothing's ever that easy. I don't know. I think if you look at these new things, you use Renko, do you, Karina? Yeah. You never know. You never know. Is it? It doesn't do no harm to have a look at these. You trade max strategy, yeah. I think it's a great strategy. I do, but it's not the strategies that difficult part. It's one, obviously, the psychological side, and like Max says, just because you can tell you can teach someone what a second entry long is in about 2 minutes, but can they trade successfully? It's about context. Market bounces in all sorts of different directions, and that's the skill, learning the context and getting in at that right time. Much better and better. Let's see the structure. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I think Mac's strategy is brilliant. I think it's very good. It's very successful. But like any of these types of things, it's not learning. The skill isn't learning what a second entry is. The skill is knowing when to take a second entry, and the same. So it's just one of those things. We got a little bit of a shifty leg down there, but there may be an overshoot there. So although it's tempting to buy there, it's probably the worst thing you can do, because we got one little leg down. We've managed to break these highs, and are we retesting this area? But little trades like that trigger, you think, yeah, we're going up. All of a sudden, it does the complete opposite. But Takes time to learn to spot those and just think that's got trouble written all over it. So, markets to slow process. Yeah, it is a slow process. I mean, we've heard Max say a million times, this takes years to master, you know. I dare say, right, 4, 5, 6 years, 7 years, you better, 10 years, you better. You know, any type of job where you can earn a significant amount of money, it's never going to take you 12 months, is it? It's just not going to happen. So, we got this move up. Still kind of working in this area. So 2 legs down. It's off that kind of key entry point. Is it a small risk? Is it worth taking? I don't know. Channel up, 2 legs down.
Order
2
submitted.
legs down off the key entry point. See what it gives us. I think the safer bet is to wait for the higher low, but just sometimes we just don't get it. Depends how big it is. So if you're looking at that channel, we've made a new high. So you need to avoid this and maybe take a higher. I'm not saying it's not going to work, but higher low is definitely the safer option. But we've had a break of this channel, 2 pushes to a new high. So
Order cancelled.
who knows? Or it could be 2 legs down and a bounce off here. So that is off the key entry point. So I would want a higher low. It is 2 legs down. It might not be bad. Perhaps
Order
I should just
filled.
take it. It's a small risk, $75. That's not so bad. It is 2 legs down. It's off the key entry point. $75 risk. I don't think it looks terrible. 2 legs up, 2 legs back. Not a huge risk. And that is not what you want to see.
Stop filled.
That's frustrating. 2 legs down off the key entry point. Pushes up, comes down, stop you out. It's $88 loss. That's not too bad. Well, if you look at it like that, it's right off the key entry point. You sort of fell second entry long, did you? Now that looks like a correction. Off support.
Order
That
filled.
one. Bounce, bounce. Paranoia is setting in.
Stop filled.
I think there's a bear channel here. It's almost that when you have a channel with a new extreme, you draw the channel in the opposite direction wider. And that less help me get into a fail second entry long. Trouble is, yeah, I got that 2 legs back. We push up, so you don't know whether we're going to come and retest this before we push higher. That's the thing that concerns me. See, Dan's got it from there, which means we haven't got a break or had it. Let's have a look. Oh, he's got it as a break now. Yeah, he's changed it. So he had it as that. So technically under a break, but he's had a break now. So I think that doesn't matter anyway. We got that break in a new high. So, well. It just seems to me that we're going to try and target this there. So whether this is just a correction and we push back, I still think we might continue on up. Okay, I'm just getting a bit thirsty. I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break. Uh, let's put that there. So I'll be about 3 to 5 minutes. Ah, so we're going to channel down with a break. Yeah, it's gone a bit slower. Channel break new high. There looks like a kind of a second entry short here. Not a fantastic bar here though. Where the hell's the thing gone? I'm gonna have to sort this stupid camera out.
Order submitted. Order filled.
Okay, channel down, 2 attempts to push higher. Let's see what happens here. Channel break new high. I don't believe this. It just doesn't seem to matter what I do here. I can't seem to catch a break. Second entry short, channel down with a break, leg, break, 2 pushes to a new high. Second entry short. Unbelievable. Okay, maybe I'm all right. We'll see. Just gonna get out of here. Something about this I don't like. Or am I just being paranoid? Channel break, 2 pushes to a new high, leg down, channel break, 2 pushes to a new high, bearish bar. Expect to make a new low, wouldn't you? But the paranoia is kicking in. I'll just leave it there. It's $100. I put it there. If it gets to there, there's a tick above. Ain't going to make no difference. Channel down. Channel break, new high. Big bearish bar. The setup looks okay. Perhaps I'm just being a little bit too overcautious. If I see a setup, I just got to take it end of. Thing is, I can hold on down here. I normally wouldn't, just out of pure paranoia, but that's a big arse target there with a channel down there and a break. So I'm going to hold on here. I know my risk. It's only $100. I don't think there's a bigger channel. I can't see it. It's too sideways for a bigger channel, in my opinion. It just looks choppy. We got a leg down, couple of legs up, looking for a second leg down. So the context's telling me it's coming down. Once it gets below here, I'll bring me stop here then. You reckon we got a wider channel down? I shouldn't read the comments really when I get in, we'll see. We've got a break new high. This looks like sideways stuff to me rather than a channel down break. Two legs up, bearish bar, leg and a leg down. Take out that one there and then break below there. On the 2000 tick chart, we've got a channel, two legs up, lower high here. Let's see how this finishes down here. I think the safer place to put that there. There's a lower high there. If it gets above there, it's going to take me out. At least that way, it's a $20 risk. Once we get below there, I think we should be okay then.
Stop filled.
Okay, it wasn't meant to be. Did it break that? I hate it when it does that. So at least I did the sensible thing there and just gone out for $20. This thing is just so frustrating. Wouldn't have hit me stop. It's a really frustrating market, I got to say. Too greedy. The whole idea of going for a lower amount is to get a few more points, just to try and make it worthwhile. And in all fairness, with the channel 2 legs up, I'd expect it to get down here. So it's kind of part of the thing that if I think it's worth it, then, you know, then I'll hold on a bit. How far did it go? So it went down. Well, you'd have got 4.5 points on it, which is not a huge amount. I can't see any other channel up. It's more sideways to me. 2 attempts to push higher. I think this thing will still come down. We'll see anyway. Okay, I'm done for today, folks, actually. I'm going to leave it there. So best of luck to you if you carry on. Failing that, have a great evening. Stay safe. I'm going to put some payments in tonight. So fingers crossed. I'll let you know how I get on. So I'll leave you guys to it. Have a great evening. Stay safe and we'll catch up same time tomorrow. Bye for now.